This is your host, Wallingford Lee. Tonight in the Queen's Grapevine, obviously, and Julissa in America, it gives me a great deal of pleasure and, of course, satisfaction to have our special guest. Talking about a special guest that has been on our program on many occasions, a young lady who's really climbing the ladders right here in Queens in more ways than one. One that has been thoroughly dedicated to the community in more ways than one. Recently, she had the opportunity to run for office, and she won on the 21 Council District here, and she's a district member. And like I said, give us a great deal of pleasure to have her on our program, and we want to sit back with her for the next half an hour to find out what it has been like to her to win the election, and what can we expect for her next month, and what has been the last 150 days in office with all the demands that she have had. Julissa, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, you know, it's always a pleasure to have you in our program because of the type of presentation that you have done and the demand that you have in the community. Tell me, for those who might not know who you are, because our program is shown all over the place, just exactly who's Julissa?
Well, I am the newly elected council member to the 21st Council District. I represent Corona, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, and East Elmhurst. I'm the first Latina elected from the borough of Queens. And I'm basically someone who was raised in this community and a product of Queens and a product of working class parents. I'm someone who's advocated for young people, for our seniors, and in particular for affordable housing, which has been a really big issue in our district. And it really is a humbling experience for me to be able to represent this district. And we're looking forward to a re-election, which will be September 15th. But it was really an honor for me to be able to get elected in a special election on February 24th.
Well, one of the most amazing things that we find that you're the first Latina because Queens in this particular district is very large Latino. Walk us through a little bit just exactly the impact, knowing that night that you won and when you were announced, just exactly the emotions that you felt and what it was like as the first Latina, and more than anything else when you were told that you won in such a long slide like that.
Well, you know, we had an incredible amount of support from labor, 32BJ, Hotel Trades, Unite HGRE, 1199, a whole host of incredible support which resonated with supporters outside and on election day. February 24th was a very cold day.
Yes, it was.
I spent the entire day at a poll site. So I was there from 5:30 in the morning all the way to 8:30 p.m. just before they closed. And my team advised me to go home and get ready for our victory party. We didn't know the results, but we were prepared. And I was home getting ready. And actually, one of my biggest supporters politically, both Assemblymember Jose Peralta and State Senator Hiram Montserrat came to my home, and they delivered the good news.
Was there any tears?
Yes, there were tons of tears. There was great cheers. I was there with my loved ones at home, and it really was a breathtaking opportunity for me to be able to be in my home to receive such great news. You know, we worked very hard. There were some tough times throughout the campaign, both politically and even personally, because there's things that happen, there's weddings, there's losses, there's things you can't participate in, and you give up so much, but it was all worth it, and I would do it again, and I'm looking forward to having a victory again.
That's good to know. Any type of congratulations from the people you run against? Any one of them picked up the phone or called you or came by to see you the night when you won?
The night that I won, not so much so, but you know, a couple of days after everyone came out and showed their support, it was very humbling, I think. It was very kind of feeling the passion of the people and being able to see someone, I ran against at the time 3 men, and for them to be able to say, you were the winner, and we didn't win by 100 votes or 200 votes. The closest person to me, we beat 2-1. So it was a pretty decisive race, and that's exactly how I wanted to win. It wasn't just about winning by the skin of your teeth, but it was winning big because we had to send a message that it was also time for women, and I think this
time for a change.
Time for a change, and also this was the first election after the Obama election was this special election here in the district. And I think it was also a time to express support for women leadership, which I think is something that I would love to see grow. And although I was, you know, I was the only Latina in the race and the only woman, I think it speaks volumes that it's time that we have both men and women that support female leadership.
Well, more important than that, it's important to know that what happened in a situation like that is that the community had spoken. The community had decided, the people that were running, that you were the person more qualified, you are the person that they were in love with, you are the person that they saw that could get the job done. Having said that, district is a very large district. What are the most difficult things that the district is encountering, and otherwise it had been difficult? What are you going to bring to the table, to the mix, when we get to September 15? What are you going to run? What is your presentation that you're going to make to this district where the people are going to come back out and support you?
Well, I think that the reality of our district is it's very diverse, and it's not only diverse in its ethnicities, but it's also diverse in its needs. You know, we don't have any type of major affordable housing development in the area, so that, you know, a lot of districts can boast about having public housing. We don't have that in our district. We are diverse both racially and ethnicity-wise. So people talk about Latinos, but you can't paint them all with one brush.
Yeah.
There's a great deal of diversity within that. But then there's also the aspect of, we have hotels. We have an entire strip of hotels. We're the home to an airport that has constant travel and back and forth. We're the home to Citi Field, U.S. Open, one of the second largest park in the city, which is Flushing Meadows Corona Park.
A large one, very large.
Yes. So when we look at the scope of the needs of our community, my priority is education. I think our children, if we're not investing in our young people, then we're doomed to fail.
Yeah, because that's men and women of tomorrow.
Exactly, and you know, and as you know, we've known each other for a long time, and that's my background, that's my passion, and my passion
Always
has
been.
to work with our young people and investing time. One of the things that I had the honor of doing, or the opportunity of doing this summer, was to hire some summer youth employment kids.
Great.
And give them an opportunity to work in a council office. But it wasn't just about coming in and answering phones and filing. I actually gave them a project. So the boys, they just split up in that manner. You know, I did an assignment. The boys decided to do a study on potholes in our district, and the girls decided to focus on teen pregnancy. And
Wow.
afterwards, they did an incredible workshop where we had 30 young teens come out and talk about safe sex and abstinence and teen pregnancy, and it was something that was completely done by the young people of our community. And I think that as an elected official, it's not just about the legislative component that we add, which I think is very important. Clearly, that's why I'm here to implement legislation that will make sense in our city, but also being able to give opportunity to our young people.
Well, I think that was a great opportunity that you gave them. And the
Yes.
topics also that these kids got involved in when we're talking about teen pregnancy and issues like that were extremely delicate. But it's a great opportunity for children at a young age to kind of start having a certain amount of responsibility. And if these type of things obviously take place, it's kudos for you on great education for the kids at the same time.